We are back, everybody, and we are going to play Jeopardy for the Nintendo 64. Right now in the birthday bank, we have $1,776,079. So let's win more, huh?
This is Jeopardy!
Welcome to your favorite game of answers and questions. We know who the contestants are, so let's go to work in the first round, the Jeopardy round, which has the one daily double. Categories for you are as follows.
We're going to be dealing with literature, embarrassment of riches, Shakespeare, animals, Baltimore, a famous city in Maryland, and finally, famous Americans.
Make a selection.
Animals 100. This small herring-like food fish is often used on pizzas and in sauces. What are anchovies? Or what is the anchovy?
That's right.
Animals 200.
Select again.
The largest type of this African scavenger is the spotted or laughing species. And right now in the birthday bank we have $1,776,079, if I didn't mention it already.
Right.
Animals 300.
Select again.
This tusked pinniped's mustache consists of about 400 sensitive bristle-like structures. What is a walrus, or muskrat? It's either the muskrat or it's the walrus. Let's try the walrus instead.
That's a correct response.
Good thing I did.
Select again.
Animals for 4. This animal native to China serves as a symbol of the World Wildlife Fund. What is the panda?
You got it.
Animals for 5.
Select again. Answer. Daily double.
Alright. Known for its bugle-like call, this rare bird is North America's tallest, at about 5 feet. Known for this rare bird is North America's tallest, at about 5 feet. What's the bald eagle?
Gosh, that's wrong.
Looking for the whooping crane.
Select again.
Well, I can get it back, no worries. Baltimore 100. The city is named for the Lords Baltimore who established this colony. What is Maryland?
That's right.
Baltimore 200.
Select again.
4 adjoining homes, including the one where Babe Ruth was born, are now a museum for this sports team. What are the Orioles?
That's right.
Baltimore 300.
Select again.
The battle monument on Baltimore's flag honors the men who defended the city during this war. What's the Civil War?
Gosh, that's wrong. Anyone else?
Foop. The War of 1812.
Select again.
Baltimore 400. H.L. Mencken was long associated with this paper, Baltimore's major daily. I'll just say what's the Baltimore Herald. Herald.
No, sorry.
Food.
Anyone else?
The Sun.
Pick again.
Oh well. This private institution has the oldest U.S. university press in continuous operation, founded in 1878. What is Johns Hopkins?
That's right.
There we go.
Select again.
Let's take Famous Americans for 100. In 1927, he set a distance record by flying to New York from New York to Paris without refueling. I will say it was Charles Lindbergh.
Right.
Famous Americans 2.
Select again.
The oldest extant home designed by this architect was built in 1889 in Oak Park, Illinois. Who's Frank Lloyd Wright?
Right.
Famous Americans 300.
Select again.
When Bob Ford shot and killed him in 1882, this outlaw was using the alias Thomas Howard. Who's Jesse James?
That's right.
Famous Americans 400.
Select again.
In 1955, he was given command of the Navy's expedition to Antarctica, Operation Deep Freeze. Who is Amundsen?
Gosh, that's wrong. Anyone else?
Richard Byrd.
Select again.
He taught chemistry for several years at Notre Dame before becoming head football coach in 1918. Newt Rockme.
That's right. Make a selection.
In 1600, the first published edition of this comedy spelled the title word ado as ado. What is Much Ado About Nothing?
You got it.
Shakespeare 200.
Make a selection.
Enobarba says Antony won't leave her because age cannot wither her, nor custom still her infinite variety. Who's Cleopatra?
That's a correct response.
Shakespeare 300.
Select again.
This woman tells her husband, "Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters." Lady Macbeth.
Pick again.
The play Cymbeline gave us a song that says, "Hark, hark, this bird at heaven's gate sings." The Lark.
Select again.
In this play, Mercutio says, "A plague of both your houses," 3 times before he dies. What is Romeo and Juliet?
That's a correct response. Select again.
Embarrassment of Riches 100. Last of the Big City Bosses is a nickname of this longtime Chicago mayor. Who is Richard Daley?
You got it.
Embarrassment of riches 200.
Select again.
This aviator and explorer described his 5 months as by himself near the South Pole in his book Alone. Who is Richard Byrd?
You got it.
Embarrassment of riches 300.
Select again.
He married 28-year-old Pat Ryan in 1940. Who's Richard Nixon?
You got it.
Embarrassment of riches 400.
Select again.
His 1972 discoveries in Kenya supported the view that genus Homo coexisted with Australopithecus. Who is Richard Leakey?
You got it.
Embarrassment of riches 500.
Select again.
This American photographer worked for Harper's Bazaar from 1945 to 1965 and on staff for Vogue from 1966 to 1970. It's Richard Avedon.
Select again.
Literature 100. Tolstoy spent years researching Napoleon and Alexander I before writing this massive novel. What is War and Peace?
That's right.
Literature 200.
Select again.
This Johann Wyss classic was inspired by Robinson Crusoe. What is the Swiss Family Robinson?
That's right.
300.
Select again.
Gloriana and Edmund Spenser's poem The Fairy Queen represents this ruler. It is Elizabeth I.
Pick again.
400. Some have described this Machiavelli work as a manual for tyrants. What is The Little Prince?
Gosh, that's wrong. Anyone else?
The Prince.
Select again.
Just The Prince. A portion of this Kafka novel was published separately under the title Before the Law. We're looking for The Trial.
All right, it's time now for the Double Jeopardy round. Remember, we have 2 daily doubles in this round to play.
But I am in the lead with $2,000, so that's good.
Categories are...
For Double Jeopardy, we're going to deal with baseball history, middle names, landmarks, miniature, math, and finally, money matters.
Make a selection.
The trees made miniature by this art may live for hundreds of years. What is bonsai?
That's right.
Miniature 400.
Make a selection.
Bobby Driscoll, Margaret O'Brien, and Haley Mills are among those who received miniature ones of these. What are Oscars?
That's a correct response.
Miniature for 600.
Select again.
In 1937, the Minox was the first sub-miniature or spy one of these. What is a telescope?
Sorry, wrong. Anyone else?
Oh, a camera.
That's right. Make a selection.
Middle name shared by theater critic George Nathan and tennis player Billy King. What is Gene?
That's right.
Middle name's 400.
Make a selection.
Former Surgeon General Coop's middle name. His first name is Charles. What is Everett?
That's right.
Middle names for 600.
Select again.
The residents of Grover's Corners could tell you this playwright's middle name was Niven. Thornton Wilder?
You got it. Make a selection.
In the equation x minus 4 equals 19, x is equal to this. What is 23?
You got it.
Math for 400.
Make a selection.
Topology is a branch of this mathematical field concerned with the general properties of shapes. What is geometry?
That's a correct response.
Math for 600.
Select again.
The perimeter of a circle also has this other name. What is area? No? What is circumference?
That's right.
There we go, math for 800.
Select again.
This drafting instrument used for measuring angles usually consists of a semicircular sheet of plastic. What is a compass?
Sorry, wrong. Anyone else?
A protractor.
Select again.
Math 1000. A location in space or in a coordinate system. One of these has no dimensions. A point.
That's a correct response. Make a selection.
This president's middle name, Knox, was his mother's maiden name. Who is James Polk? Or who is James K. Polk?
That's right.
Middle name's 1000.
Make a selection.
This Nobel Prize winning chemist's middle initial, C, stands for Carl, not his favorite vitamin. Who is Louis Pasteur? No.
Sorry, wrong. Anyone else?
Linus Pauling.
Make a selection.
The The town of Mathew, with a 1/25th scale buildings, is located in a park in this Dutch seat of government. What is The Hague?
That's a correct
Miniature
response.
for 1,000.
Select again. Answer there. One of the two daily doubles.
Let's do 1,400. Company that makes a miniature Mr. Goodbar. What is Hershey's?
That's right. Select again.
Let's take baseball history 200. In 1954, the St. Louis Browns moved to Baltimore, becoming this new team. Who are the Orioles?
You got it.
Baseball history
Select
400.
again.
In 1905 and 1906, this American League team was known as the Boston Pilgrims. Who are the Boston Red Sox?
You got it.
Baseball history 600. The oldest man to hit 400 was this Georgia Peach, who accomplished it in 1922 at age 35. Oh, Ty Cobb.
Pick again.
800, baseball history. Only 2 pitchers have over 400 Major League wins. Walter Johnson and this man for whom a pitching award is named. Who is Cy Young?
That's right.
Baseball history 1000.
Select again.
Both the Mets and the Yankees retired this manager's uniform number. Connie Mack?
Wrong. Anyone else?
Casey Stengel?
That's a correct response. Make a selection.
The 20,000 or so members of this British insurance society are called names. Lloyds of London?
You got it. Make a selection.
It's buying large quantities from manufacturers and selling smaller lots to retailers. Wholesale? Wholesaling?
That's right. Select again.
This can be the fee paid to an insurance company or the amount a bond sells for above face value. Premium.
Pick again.
Closed from 1967 to 1975, this Middle Eastern canal was later enlarged to accommodate supertankers. What is the Suez Canal?
You got it.
Landmarks
Make a
400.
selection.
From the windows of this city's Renaissance Center, you can see Windsor, Ontario. What is Toronto?
No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else?
Looking for Detroit.
Make a selection.
Okay, I'll take landmarks for 6. It's the Italian town with the Pitti place. Florence.
Make a selection.
I'll try 1800. This U.S. city's Haymarket Square was the site of an 1886 riot. What is Baltimore?
Sorry, wrong.
Chicago.
Make a selection.
Hakon's Hall in Bergen is a relic of this country's medieval past. What is Norway?
That's right. Select again.
While a put is the right to sell shares at a certain price, this is the right to buy them. And we're looking for a call.
Check again.
The School of Economics, named for Brighton, stresses the role of government in the economy. What is the Wharton School?
Wrong. Anyone else?
We're looking for Keynesian.
All right, players, start thinking about your wagers for Final Jeopardy based on what you know about this category. And your Final Jeopardy answer is...
The Mighty Bambino, who is Babe Ruth.
Let's see if our contestants were successful. What did you put down as your response? No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. You got it.
Well, we're going to add $4,400 to the birthday bank, so let's go ahead and do that right now.
You got it.
Which is now $1,780,479.
Thank you for playing Jeopardy!
I'll see you all for that next segment.